Thursday, I think. I skipped yesterday because it was the final day of the Calgary Conducting Symposium, which I did. It was the most intensive professional development I've done in a long time. In a lot of ways, it was scarier and more intense than the one I did in Los Angeles in 2019. But we can talk about that another day. Today, we are here because we are highlighting what teachers do before our paycheck starts, I guess, even before school's back. So I'm here, I'm in my building. I can only come during certain times because I don't have my keys back because we turn those in June. And so I had to wait till office staff was able to let me in the building. So I'm in my music room. And so I thought I would kind of give you a before shot of what my room looks like, what I'm coming back to. And then in a few days, if I get it all done, I can show you what it looks like then. So just kind of in the background behind me, you can kind of see it's a pretty much of an empty room. So I'm going to try and switch my camera. Oh, there we are. Okay, here's my door. So this is my first board. This is where my welcome information goes. I have to find a table and a bookcase to under there for stuff. This is my projector and more whiteboards. I have a lot of whiteboards, but I use them kind of as display boards. So, you can still see some of the tape from last year. Guess custodians didn't get to that. Oh well, another thing for me to do. I'm going to use magnets this year. But that's what it is. So that has to all be set up. There's going to be a how to practice display for the kids. And then I have some other information that we refer to quite often. This board over here, I've taught in buildings where you had to take everything off the walls before you left for the school year. My school is nice and isn't like that. So this is the wall of musical knowledge, and I was able to leave it up. Last year I had to set that up from scratch. Now as I step back, you can see there's lots of stuff, because I'm a music room, right? But there's my carpet I'm going to have to drag down. Oh, look, they've left the tape on the floor from last year, so clearly they haven't washed my floors. Actually, they haven't washed my floors. It's dusty. But they've swept. Over here, this is my workstation, which actually ends up being like way over there usually. Although now that I see they've shoved this bookshelf here, I like it, so my room might look different. And then I have kind of like my area over here. This is where I put out like their duotangs and supplies, stuff for instrument stuff, and in my cupboards, as well as setup stuff. So this is the practice rooms. I call them the void and the abyss because I think I'm funny. So in here you can see my practice room. I got all this equipment and stuff to sort. That's got to come out of here. There's more. Oh, look, my inflatable dinosaur costume. More equipment, the Frankenstein drum set. So this board here, this is like where I keep all my information that I refer to fairly frequently, bell schedules, policies, things I need to know. That has to all be printed and reset up. Now I have these cupboards here for storage, but this is my music library. So in June, I took 3 whole school days to organize this. That was a process. But then I started opening other cupboards because at the end of the year when we have to clean up, basically we just have to stick stuff away. That one says do not open. Why does it say do not open? Let's find out. Was this the broken door? Oh, they fixed my door. Oh, I can take off the sign. So some of these have instruments in them. Some of them, like that's just a shelf of stuff that I didn't know where to put. Oh, so all of the things that are in here there's my African drums. Yep, so this stuff all has to come out because I'm going to be using it. Oh, more instruments. And so basically there's a lot of, because these all have to be empty for students to store their instruments in. So I have to assign all the instruments to the kids. I have to fill out the rental contracts. I have to make the name tags to put on the instruments because the children lose them. Oh, mental note, that is where those are. My whiteboards. What else have I got? Last year's duotangs, true story, because we keep them from year to year. So then the first day of school, I go so the purple ones, that's just one grade. I think there's another box missing. But so I have to rematch the children in their new grade configuration. So that takes a day. Clipboards, need more of those I have to buy. They're on my list. And then this is where all the crafty office-y type stuff, things I don't know where to put that I'm going to need later. That's all the stuff for my desk. Oh, yes, here we are. This is like a doom bin in a cupboard form. So, yeah, I got lots of stuff here to work with, calendar pieces. So just a lot of the basic setup. Oh, this is candy, though. This is candy, and this is prizes for kids. This was a favorite last year. Kids like that one. I learned last year that I can't have gummies, so I had to get some Jolly Ranchers because gummies have gelatin in them, and my kids there's certain religions which can't because they're vegetarian and stuff. So that was a learning thing last year, I learned. Oh, there's my baton. This is my conducting baton. This thing was like $200. It's a custom job. I could have used this at my symposium last week, but I had left it at school. So I have lots of stuff to do, clearly. And that's just the physical labor end of it. Let me turn this around. So that's just the physical labor end of it, right? Like that's not even the meetings and the planning. We have new administration in our building, so I joke I have to train them. No, we just have to get to know each other and make sure we're on the same page for policy. It's busy, right? Like I walked into the building here at 11:30, so an hour and a half ago, and I've had 2 really major significant meetings with new people in the hallway already. Well, I sat down in the principal's office, but just talking about budgets and things that are going to change and how big our school is going to be, and because numbers are really fluctuating in our division. So a lot of we don't think about just the physicality of what we have to do. So just looking at what I talked about right now, trying to think about how many hours it's going to take me to have my room to where I'm like, I'm going to make a video because my room is now set up. Oh, I'm thinking we'll be talking Monday night. I'm thinking I need 2 full days, like 2 5-6 hour days in this room physically to get everything where it needs to be, because I'm going to have to take up tape off the floors. I'm going to have to make sure my boards are good. Like there's just some extra custodial things I wasn't expecting to do. I'm going to have to do something about this. This is funny to me. I don't know. Apparently over the summer it got warm in my room. Look at that. It's like, who's the artist who does the clock where it's like melting? This is the pick of judgment. It's funny, we accidentally bought 3 of these when we were doing Alice in Wonderland. We only needed 1. So it sits up there and it like stares at the children and it judges them, and we joke about it. And I've got like extra mallets. Actually, those mallets are the ones I have to replace. And then I have a nursing pillow. The reason I have a nursing pillow is I have kids who play the euphonium baritone. It's like a small tuba or the tuba. And if I put that on their lap, sometimes it makes it more comfortable. Or if a kid has a broken arm, it'll hold the instrument for them. Oh, what else do I have? Oh, yeah, I've got 40 ukuleles. So I've got to go back through. I got to retune. I've got a couple I got to restring in that box. I have to add that to my list of things to do. I have to figure out setup too. Like I got chairs, and I don't have any kids younger than 9 in my classes this year. So I could keep chairs out, but I also have these, which are kind of, I mean, I complain about the time it takes to set up, but I am lucky to have this stuff to set up. So this is like, these are risers. So I have to bring those in the room too. And then like, actually, it's probably locked, but I'll walk down here. See, music is everything, got my boards. Oh, I have to do bulletin boards too. I forgot about that. Yeah, so I do one here, and then I usually replace the one with the blue signs over there every year. So that needs to be done. That's an hour, a bulletin board at least. And sometimes I steal one of these if the grade 3 teachers don't use them. This is our other music room over here, and it's where the rest of our equipment is, because not everything fits in my room. So like I said, I'm really lucky that I'm in a position where it's probably locked. Oh, it is. I see more risers and stuff in there, and shelves. She's got lots of shelves. But I'm really lucky that I'm in a brand new school. We got a lot of the equipment that we need. We have Orff xylophones, we have japanos, we have class sets of ukuleles, right? Like this is a luxury, really it is. A lot of music programs in our province are not nearly as well supplied. And when you have great stuff to work with, you can do really great things. Although music teachers were pretty resourceful. Buckets, she must have all my buckets. I'm like, where are all the buckets? Because I have 75 orange pails we use for drumming. So yeah, there's some things I'm gonna have to track down in the building, pretty normal. But yeah, so classroom setup is a pretty big job. And then after that, my next job will be looking at my year plans, making sure that all of my field trips are booked for the year, make sure my concert dates are set. I have to have a meeting with the special education people because I need to order some adaptive stuff. There's these like uke buddy things you click on, and it one button pushes down for the chords if you have kids without finger strength. So I got that on my list of things I need to do. I need to sit down with the phys ed department, and even though the admin will approve my concert dates, I need to go, hey, my friends, are we on the same page? Because I swear to God, if the gym teacher and the music teachers don't get along, you have problems. Like, we really have to be on the same page, like, because we share so much of the same space, and we do so many things the same. It really makes a difference when you have collaboration in your building. I'm lucky, and I work in it. Like I've said, I keep saying I'm lucky because I am. I work in a building where our administration is very solution focused, and it's about the kids, and the staff is the same. So right then and there, that makes some of the classroom complexity issues a little bit less painful. But I mean, we already had a meeting this morning. In my meeting this morning, we talked about, we had almost 1,200 kids last year. They rezoned us. I've lost 30% of my great musicians, but there's new kids, it'll be fine. But the fact is, we are almost back up to where we were when we moved all the kids. Like, so, I mean, I guess we rezoned the kids because then otherwise we'd be up to 1,400 kids. I don't know. Like, we have so many more kids who aren't speaking English coming in. We're trying, like, what are we going to do? So we are really having those conversations right now. And then to add to it, I'm annoyed about this. Okay, so I'm annoyed about a lot of things. Alberta government, remember they put in all these policies about the books and the resources. Now this trickles down. So they've got this new policy that if it has to do with LGBTQ or gender or whatever, right, that we have to get permission. And okay, fine, whatever, but that's for books we read, right? No, it's not just for books we read. So I do this piece, or I program this piece. I've done it before. It's the most beautiful song. You can look it up. It's called Me, like the word me, M-E. It's by a composer. His name's Randall Standridge. And let me see if I can find it here in the coverage while I'm talking about it. Randall Standridge is an amazing American composer. He writes a lot of music for concert bands. He's pretty famous in my world. Where would it be? It's a lyrical piece. Because I want to actually highlight this when I'm talking about it. I will do a separate video just on this because, there it is. I know I'm not going to be the only teacher who's running into things like this. Okay. It's Me by Randall Standridge. There's him as an adult. There's his kid, right? Okay, we like Randall. He calls himself like Handy Randy Standridge. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up the score. And a score is what the conductor looks at to read the music. So here, let me see if I can flip it over. You can see what I'm talking about. Sure. All right, so this is a score. It's got all the parts. Now, what they give you is something called program notes. So it doesn't, I like that picture. If I have to get a glamour shot with my baton, I want something like that. They always get conductors and they're like standing in the woods. I'm like, why the hell are you in the woods? Anyways, okay, so this is me reaffirmation. And I'll screenshot this and add it below maybe after. So I like to start this piece by actually reading right directly from these 2 pages the story that the composer has shared with us. This piece, Me, is from a bigger series of works called the Unbroken Project. And think about its name, Unbroken, right? So basically, this is a series of works celebrating Randall Standridge's journey to acceptance, right? And so he wrote a piece called Reaffirmation. And it's a really challenging, beautiful piece, but it's too hard for the younger students. So then he wrote this one, Me. And we're doing it for Remembrance Day this year. And yeah, because he wrote Affirmation in 2020. Now, here's the problem. And I just thought of this the other day in a meeting. I'm like, shit, oh my God. So we have to get parent consent to teach anything that has to do with like the LGBTQ stuff, unless it's just like sort of a part of it. So the lesson isn't going to be about the fact that Randall Standridge is gay. He's openly gay. But that's what the lesson's about. The lesson is going to be about his journey overcoming that. And then I can share my journey overcoming some things with disability. People can share their journeys with things overcoming due to racism or other things they've had to deal with in bullying. So really the theme that this song is it's okay to be you, and let's celebrate that beautiful journey of understanding that me is enough, right? And that's a beautiful thing. But the story he talks about, he says, I wrote this piece, he says he wrote it because the peace affirmation is a celebration of outsiders in the world. He says, I think a lot of us have felt that way from time to time. I was gay and artsy, and I didn't really fit into my rural high school. I think a lot of us could relate to that. And he says, my peers wanted to talk about cars and sports and hunting. Not that there's anything wrong with those things, but it just wasn't my bag, he says. And I was bullied for it. And then he goes on to talk a little bit about what that looked like, the physical trauma. And then he talks about circling back to now he's an adult. And, he says, I'm in a different place now. I've realized that I can be myself. And so I wrote this piece, Affirmation, to celebrate. And so I want to share that. Like, bullying happens to our youth. Bullying happens to our adults, and it's not okay. He says, so to all the band geeks, the choir kids, the art kids, the children of color, the LGBTQ youth, the abused, the forgotten, the misunderstood, and the people walking around with the weight of too many years of self-loathing chained to their legs. Please try this for me, he says. Say something positive about yourself every single day. Be your own best cheerleader. Learn to say something positive about those around you and learn to love yourself. You are beautiful. You are perfect. You are worthy. Say it over and over again until you believe it from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. And to little Randall, hey, buddy, things are going to be okay. And I want to open with that because what more powerful statement is there that really describes what music is? Like I was talking to my principal earlier, I have a job. My job is to make children better humans using music. And through doing that, I meet some kids who legitimately want to be hardcore musicians. And so if that's your vibe, then I'm going to find you the best orchestra. I'm going to find you the best teacher. I'm going to promote you to things. I'm going to challenge you because I have the skill set to make great musicians. I have in my 25 years. I've got kids who play in symphonies. I've got a kid who's a record label owner, right? My fingerprints are on all sorts of humans out there and I love it. But that's not really why I teach music. I mean, I love doing that part of my job so much, but it's really just better humans using music. And so for whatever reason you're in my band room, whether it's because you want to play the flute better or this is just where all your friends are and this is your happy, safe place, well, then you're welcome here. And I think that piece really embodies that because we do have those conversations in music. Like, how was your day? That's a question that leads to some really interesting conversations some days in here. So I have to get approval for that, though. And I have a hard time, okay, I don't know how to phrase this politely, so I won't. I don't like giving up my creative control. That's probably how it is. I have no problem with the parents knowing what we're learning and why. You should. In fact, if you don't know why I'm doing a piece, please ask me about it. But I just don't want parents to be coming and going, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. When it takes away amazing literature and repertoire and works against what we've been working so hard to do for diversity in our classroom. So in music, and I run into this a couple of different ways, inclusion is very powerful. I think that everybody's voice can be represented in my class. We sing in different languages. We learn about different cultures. We appreciate all those things. And I lost my train of thought on that. This is why I don't do lives. Oh, diversity. So then when people start saying, oh, but you haven't done any music by Black composers, you haven't done any, how many women composers do you have in your repertoire? What are you doing to highlight, Black History Month or Pride or any of those, Diwali, other holidays that we celebrate in our building? And we can do all of that in music. And then I have the people who come in, but that means we're not doing Christmas. Well, yes, we are. We're just not quite doing as much. We can do everything. A little bit of everything is better than focusing so much on just one. So like I had a substitute teacher in who didn't want to do part of my lesson plan because I was singing Kumbaya with my kinders or grade ones at the time. Sing the song. We can sing Kumbaya. We sing a song in Hindi for Diwali. We sing a song for Hanukkah. I'm teaching your kids about the world. I'm not, it's experiencing, right? And so when we have people coming in and saying, you can't do this, you can't do that, we've worked really hard to make sure that all these voices are heard in our room without taking away the voices that were already there. This feels like it's going backwards. Like it hurts my heart because, well, I would guess that there are kids in my class that know exactly what Randy's talking about, right? Because of the LGBTQ, not just because they've experienced bullying. There's definitely kids who've experienced bullying for other reasons in my class. I, as an adult, have a journey that's included bullying. I worked at a really toxic school, and I didn't realize until after I left how unhealthy some things were. But these things happen because we're under-supported, we're overworked, management doesn't manage. There's lots of reasons for bullying in the workplace and things. So we're really grateful. I'm really grateful for the building I do work in. I have an incredibly inclusive staff. Lots of us are open about disability struggles and things, and that makes it safe for the kids to do that too. But as we're here getting ready to set up for the year, I just wanted to highlight the fact that what we're thinking about needs to be counted into that equation of the cost. Everything has a cost: your time, your money, your energy. So there's the physical energy for setting up my room. This is on my own time, right? It's still summer break. But the mental end of it, right? The thinking about the kids we haven't seen all summer, wondering how they're being, the kids who didn't want to leave, right? I'm like, okay, you're coming back. I hope you had an okay summer. So it's going to be a journey, as always, and I will check back in a couple days and show you what my room looks like when it is set up. Right now I get to go use the laminator. I'm so excited. But yeah, I will continue to advocate for teachers. I was talking to some teachers the other day, and we were talking about how important it is to be visible as band directors. And last night when I was thinking about this, it kind of came with the, you know what, we may not like confrontation. We may not appreciate having to be always advocating, but here's the problem. We are the voice of our programs. So if we're not loud, then we're not heard. And I think with my video series moving forward with the Wednesdays, I'm going to move pretty heavily into the advocacy piece, as well as some of the survival skills and trips I have for new band teachers. So we'll be heading in that direction. And so my empty room, and I'll see you in a few days with a finished room. And I see in the comments, I go to Northcote Prairie, so whoever you are. I kind of joked when I hit 100 subscribers, I'm like, I bet you 55 of you are in grade 4 and 5. So hello, students, but I do, out of the 350 of you, I know there's some parents out there too, so, and some teachers, so. Thank you all. What empty room? Well, Gabe, it's an empty room as in it is not set up yet. It's a mess. Hopefully it will not be a mess when you get back. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your summer.